It's my son, little crazy guy. Pencil. I want to give some of my favorite uses of this curriculum. We have moved on to Language Arts 2, which he is already finishing up book 3, hitting into book 4. He should finish that by the end of the school year. Number 1, Christian Light Education is a rigorous, in-depth language arts program that includes all aspects of language arts. It approaches every bit from phonics to grammar to writing to spelling, and they do it in increments a little bit over every single day and these tiny little booklets. One booklet on average can get you about a month, 3 weeks to a month, depending on if you school 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. So this curriculum right here, right now is suffice. It does the job. And I wanted to give you guys some of my favorite reasons. All right. Number 1, constant repetition. You're probably wondering what in the world that means. That means that once they teach a concept, every day after that concept until the booklet is over, they're going to have an activity for that concept. They're not going to give you an opportunity for your child to forget at all. Number 2, you can replace certain activities for the physical child. I have the physical kid. I have a kid that wants to climb the trees, run, jump, fall on the floor, throw things like balls and anything. You can adjust these lessons for that child. For example, this brand new lesson of lesson 9 was covering syllables. And with syllables, they needed to read the word and identify if it had 1 syllable or 2. Here's 2 words, and they had to match it up. So what I did for my son was have him to clap it out, stomp it out, sing it out, even twirl it out. By ball has 2 syllables, twirl 2 times, or twirl 1 time. Which one does it have? And then he also opted to draw it in. So you do not have to do it on paper. You can actually do it physically, which we love. If your kid is very creative, instead of drawing lines, we could do something different. Here is the next lesson where I use colors for my son. He loves to draw. He's very creative. So to get him to understand prefixes, root words, suffixes, we color to train 3 colors of his choosing. And then down here, it says divide the root words and the prefix. He got to use the colors to do it. Same thing down here, divide the root word and the suffix. Instead of using lines, he uses colors, and he was able to complete the assignment very easily. This curriculum is adaptable in that manner. Another reason why we love the Christian Light curriculum is 30 minutes and done. Yes, you heard that right. Once we hit that 30-minute mark, we are pretty much completed with that day's lesson. Now, I'm not including any kind of bad attitude days, because after all, children have days just like us adults where you don't feel like doing anything. But I'm talking a normal school day where he is ready to rock and roll for the day. He can get a lesson done. So like I showed you with the syllables and the practice, the second page and the third page are all review of things that he learned prior. Not only the first 8 lessons of this booklet, but also lessons from the prior booklet. They're very quick, they're very short, and they're not meant to bog the kid down, but just jog that memory. For example, opposites. He's learned that very quickly. Draw the lines. Another one down here. Circle the words that has suffixes added correctly. We did this verbally. Down here at the bottom, what's the sentence, what's the question, what's the phrase? Learn that weeks and weeks prior to this lesson. Very, very quickly. So there are about 12 little sections of these for the child to do each time. And like I said, we make them physical and we make them verbal to break up the monotony of drawing lines, circles. If your kid has no problems with that workbook style of drawing lines and circling things, easy peasy. But if you have a kid like mine where it's like he rather would draw a sunset over the ocean for 2 hours than to do this workbook for 30 minutes, You got to use the physical aspect or the color aspect to get you through. So, number reason 4 that we love the Christian Light curriculum is if your child gets bored, break it up. Every lesson contains penmanship and spelling at the very end of the lesson. The penmanship and spelling portion we do right after the morning basket. As soon as we get done with puzzles and all the fun activities, we come back to the desk and do something calming and relaxing. The penmanship, I look ahead of time to see exactly what he needs to work on. I'll write it on the board, and then he sits down and draws and writes whatever they require. Sometimes throughout the week, we change it up by giving him dictation, copy work, and even draw right now books. So we don't always follow the Christian Light penmanship. But the spelling portion, he writes the words one time in his spelling book and then come in here and do the activity. Very easy, no more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do those two things. If it gets really bogged down in his drawing, it could be 30 minutes, but I try to rope him in because after we finish those two, it's one of his favorites, which is mathematics. But that's the best way to get the whole entire lesson done for Christian Light. Like I said, we love the curriculum. It's straightforward, it's easy, it's barely any prep time with it. The only prep that we have or that I have gotten into is trying to ensure that we have an activity or game to help some of the main lesson go down as smooth as possible. But other than that, you can make it physical, you can make it colorful, you can make it artistic, you can fit it for your child. Just know that they're going to get all of it in these sweet little booklets. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we are working through Language Arts number 2 for Christian Light. And at the end of the school year, when he finishes those booklets, I will definitely give my opinion and his experiences of working through it. Once again, this curriculum can be very quick and fast. So take your time. If you have to repeat the lesson twice, do it. If you can skip forward, jump ahead and go ahead. You can fit it to your liking, but definitely you're going to get every aspect, and that's why we love it.